I'm good with it. All right. Welcome to Chaos Chamber, where not even I know what's going to happen. And in this case, that's pretty well true. You guys have started some strategic planning here, but I honestly have quite no idea where we're going to go. You guys completely threw me in the last one, so I can't wait to find out exactly how far this goes, how you guys want to handle things, where you go, what you do. It's a toss up. It was miserable to prepare for, but as always, you guys keep me on my toes. So, with that said, what do you say we jump into the recap?
Yeah.
All right.
With
Last session, picking up middle of battle. You guys haven't tracked down the final, or at least what you expect to be the final group of frost giants that had moved to the north, surrounding them, coming across them as they were digging out of what you found appeared to be a tunnel or some type of cave into the wall. They were moving some rocks away from it. As you guys create a little surrounding, the battle ensued. Turned out to be several frost giants, including the captain and Winter Wolf off in the corner, a few ice methods once again, a few more mid-battle coming out of the cave that seem to already be inside there preparing for some type of search or evaluation, some type of something, maybe just a place to spend the night, who knows. And so managed to capture the frost giant captain in the beat of force. And as time was running down, continued to get bogged down in battle from multiple sides. The berserker frost giants put a little bit of a hurting on a few of you drop. You guys managed to get them all contained and down, with only the Frost Giant captain remaining, surrounding him as the beat of force time clicked down, and as the beat of force disappeared, laying into him, bringing him down to almost nil hit points before finally putting the killing shot and taking him down. And we were picking up right at the moment of death with him last time. And with that said, let's pick up there. And for the record, for everyone watching, there will be an official level up to start. Everyone has completed it, and so we will have level 9 characters moving forward. Pretty exciting. We're getting into mid-level characters now. We're in that middle tier. You guys are becoming legendary status. But with that said, let the chaos ensue. So, this frost giant has just dropped. You guys did a little planning. There were some things that I didn't quite send out last time. Actually, no, I didn't let you guys do anything last time. Now we're talking about it. We just literally finished with the end of his life. So let's switch over to the right screen and give that a second to load as we come into the map.
I'm
Oh,
in. Emmerich leaps up towards the entrance of the cave, not into, but just to hold position.
okay.
Griswold wants to search the bodies. He wants to search the bodies to see what all is going on. I'm not at my computer. I'm just logging in here, so I won't be able to write all of it down. If someone could in the group pack while I'm logging on, that would be peachy.
I do remember that some of the damage that we were taking from the frost giant great axes did some cold damage.
Yep.
I will ritualistically in 10 minutes cast detect magic.
Okay. So Grizz, you're doing a search. I'll go ahead and roll here for you with some investigation.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I'm just trying to get on to my stuff now.
G, did you see my messages from last week?
Yep, just sent you one direct on here.
Sweet.
Was coming, so let me roll for Grizz first. All right, Grizz rolling a 19 investigation.
Garrett, you should roll for me more often. Holy shit.
Clearly.
Jeez,
All right.
this is amazing.
What?
What's the matter, Ash?
Somehow I used chromatic and it made an NPC instead of an actual character.
Wait, what?
It gave me an
You mean-
NPC sheet.
Through the character mancer.
Yeah.
It If you go into the settings and uncheck the NPC checkbox, that should undo that.
Make sure that works.
Hey,
If I
everyone.
can find settings.
Evan, you all good then for the group pack since you're logged in?
I am. I'll go ahead and pull that up now. Yeah, I'm now good for the group pack whenever. Oh shit! Hold on. Okay, yeah, I'm good for it.
There you go.
How about now, Ash?
I got it. And back to what I was doing.
Okay. All right, so Grizz, as you're evaluating, so you're searching a couple of them. Who are you searching, Grizz? I don't know if you mentioned.
My intentions were just to search the whole group, starting with the captain, since we're right there, and then venturing out
Got
to
it.
the other ones.
Okay, so the captain himself actually feels fairly light as you're exploring him. Doesn't seem to be carrying, the others you kind of see bags on them, everything else. The captain seems to be traveling lean. You find the weapons that were on him, of course, each of their great axes. 1 second, let me just make sure here. Yeah, so you find that they're massive great axes, of course. Each of them have this large weighted net hanging from them as well. You find a few random pieces. You search their bags. You find a giant-sized bone comb. You find a 5-foot length of chain. You find about 5 dead trout in there as well. Dented steel shield, a wooden oar, and that is about all that they seem to be carrying. And then over the course of it, you find some scatters of coinage. You guys find a combined 112 gold pieces and 60 copper. Pretty light compared to what you found previously.
Did the So we found the great axe. I thought that did the captain have a great axe or maybe it's a windkeeper that had the glaive. I'm sorry, I might be mixing.
The windkeeper had the glaive. The ones that you were here all had
bad.
all had great axes.
I was mixing
Let me
that
just
up.
make sure I'm not missing anything.
I wrote down all the pertinent stuff. I didn't do like the comb or the fish, but I got the.
You don't want the
nets.
fish in the comb?
I thought about it, but I like to think that Griswold, like I know Griswold doesn't have any hair, but like maybe Amrook needs it for his thick dwarven beard. Amrook, come here. I found this comb. I'm sure that we can cut this down for that luscious beard of yours. What do you say?
You guys, you did in addition to that find an extra 78 pieces, gold pieces, and you're searching another one too, on top of the 112.
78 additional. Okay, cool beans. I'll mark that up for everyone in a sec. I'll send that out.
Emmerich does not even turn from the cave entrance.
You were just watching the cave entrance?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, all great axes amongst them, other than these weighted nets. These things are massive, so think of your standard fishing net that you would be carrying, maybe like 8 feet wide. These things are sitting about 12 to 14 feet long, and they are heavy. You're struggling to be able to toss them yourself, but it might be doable.
I don't think we need them.
And there would be 4 of them.
All right.
5 of them, sorry.
5. All right, I'm gonna get those in there, and 5 of the.
Harshnag's gonna come up. Do you mind if I take one?
Harshnag, I was actually going to ask, I don't know if you'd need all 5, but I don't think any of us are going to use them. So if you want the 5, or whatever you need, it is yours.
I shall take them, if you will not.
Yeah, I'll hand them over.
All right. Amrook, if you're watching this thing, can you give me a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
Just for, perception for the cave as you're watching this.
Was it also, sorry, I'm not on the screen yet. Was it also 5 great axes? 5 great axes?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5.
Okay,
5 huge great axes, so oversized great axes.
I don't think they'll fit in the pack, will they?
Well, I'm gonna.
Great axe.
No.
No?
but not the added great axe. So a standard one would, but these are the giant-sized great axes. So they are sitting. Let's see, normal ones are about 4 feet. So these things are about 9 feet tall.
Got it.
Harshnag. As much as I would like to try to utilize one of these great axes, obviously none of us can. Will they serve you or anyone you can think of any purpose? I know he's got a cool great axe.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna hold up his, and he's gonna. Dirk has not let me down yet. I will not use an inferior blade.
As I look over, do I see if his axe glows with magical properties?
I was about to say. So now the fact that your fine magic is kicked in, yes, you see his axe is glowing quite considerably. You also see the great axes that 2 of them are holding glowing as well. The 2 that you did see deal some additional frozen damage.
Too bad we can't get them. Damn.
Then. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm actually gonna leave the. Or I literally clicked the wrong button, so I have to do this again. I'm going to just leave them. The 5 great axes there. 5. You said it's 5 foot of chain. I clicked out of this by accident.
Yep, 5 foot of chain.
My bad. Chain. Is it oversized? I'm assuming because it's giants.
No, it just seems to be 5 foot of chain. Okay. 5 foot of standard chain. So in this case, when most likely that it seems to be a lot of stuff that's kind of found and gathered. You find you just kind of find this collection of stuff, this hodgepodge. They seem to be a bit of hoarders in a way.
21 gold pieces each, and that's also adding in Harshnag and Dildo, and then 6 copper, which I don't think anyone cares. Is the dented shield glowing?
Oh, I do.
Man, you guys are getting
I do.
Getting picky in your old age here.
I do.
Want the copper?
Yeah.
I put my 6 copper in my bag, thankfully, but
yeah,
some of the others might not be as thankful.
Oh, I'm thankful. Griswold did not say that. Griswold.
I'm gonna keep that in mind.
Adrian thinks it's about like 4 gold's worth of value.
Alright, there.
Just has no concept of money.
Did we see that the steel shield, was it glowing or was it regular shield?
The steel. Oh, it was not glowing. Yeah, nothing you found in the bags were actually glowing. They were all standard things. Okay. You see only the weapons glowing.
Yeah. So basically, So we'll have the chain and then. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I'll put the axes to the side, and that'll be pretty much it, because they cannot fit.
Real quick, Ash, how are you in your update process?
I'm good. We're going to level 8, right?
9.
Yep.
9?
Wait,
8?
9. Sorry, yeah. 9.
I'm almost there. I'm on
48,000.
7.
Go 9.
I'm on 7. I'm there. Almost there.
Still seems ridiculous to me that you guys are leveling up to 9. Just
I'm so pumped.
We're getting there.
I didn't think we'd make it.
I'll be honest, I didn't either in some cases.
Most cases.
There's a couple times I didn't think we were going to.
There's a lot of cases.
A lot of cases, let's be honest here.
Yeah.
More than 3 or 4
Good stuff.
handfuls.
We'll see if you make it a 10. That'll be the question.
4,500 XP? Or 47?
48.
48.
48,000.
Thanks. 48,000. Thank you.
All right, we all got some scrambling going on here. All right. Real quick. Rook, with your roll as you stare into this cave. Lag again. Yeah, 10 perception. The cave is dark and damp. You can see the entrance only for a small way, but frankly, with the sun in the position that it is, this entire hillside now at this time of day at noon is pretty much unlit. The sun's coming straight down in this middle of the day scenario, so you've got almost no visibility into the cave very far. You can only see maybe 5-6 feet. It seems to go straight back. You can see the rough terrain of kind of heading back there. A lot of ground, or a lot of rocks on the ground. This cave entrance seems to be about 10 feet wide, about 10, 15 feet tall. You can kind of see the ceiling starts to slope up a little bit as soon as it goes in. But otherwise, you're struggling to see kind of past that first 5 or 6 feet with the light that you're in. You
So
do feel a
as
light
they're
breeze coming out of it. I should say that as well. Just this light, cool air kicking out continuously, and it's a very light breeze.
I light
So
a torch and I throw it in.
They got air.
Okay, and Amro, you were gonna say?
I light a torch and I throw it in. I said,
Oh, sorry, Adrian. I meant Adrian. Sorry, I heard that, and I was letting Adrian finish as well.
So I'm going to use, where's that? My wild companion, and use one of my wild shapes to summon a giant wolf spider because they have dark vision.
Okay.
And I will start to have him crawl through the cave, kind of. Actually, I'm going to have him go on the ceiling.
Okay.
Crawl on the ceiling. He's going to crawl on the ceiling as he goes. And then, if we're going to take a rest, I'm going to cast, because I had it prepared. Yes. Before he goes in, I'm going to cast Bee Sense.
All right, so you're saying a wolf spider, and what else? And
then, so I'm going to cast Bee Sense on him so that I can kind of see through his multi-socketed eyes. Kind of like, I got a little bit of a headache because it's like a little bit of like way too many. It's like looking at way too many television screens.
are you only sending in the wolf spider, or did you say you're sending something else in as well?
Nope, just that.
Okay. And Rook, while he's doing this and conjuring it up, you take light a torch and toss it in. You're able to give it a good chuck in there. It doesn't run across anything, kind of flies straight through without incident. You get it about 30 yards in there. You get a good chuck. And as you do so, you see the path continues downward for a little while. Seems to be about a 40-yard little entrance cavern. And then you do see that it opens up a little bit. Now that you have some light facing, you see some water dripping off the walls. You see some moss having grown on it. The deeper you get in this cavern, you see more and more moss on the ground, almost swamp-like. And then what you can kind of see is the cavern opens up a little bit, and you can see some further area, but doesn't appear to be anything in there. It seems pretty empty, just very, very swamp-like. That's from the torch. So, are you sending in then sending in your wolf spider?
Yep.
All right. How big is this thing? What's the size?
I think they're medium sized.
Okay.
Giant.
while he's looking at that, how big is the captain's helmet?
Oh, God.
So it's probably standard helmet's about 10, 12 inches diameter. This thing's about 4 feet in diameter. It's a big old bowl, and then the horns coming off of it, these sharp, jagged, custom ornamented pieces are sticking out about 4 or 5 feet as well. So this thing's the size of a deer.
I'm gonna take my axe and crack it. I just want to break off a horn and maybe get part of the base of the helmet with the horn.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have any issue doing so with your strong axe. Seems to snap off pretty easily.
I'm gonna give it to Grizz and say if we decide to go back to that ship, this might come in handy.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out how you can make a necklace out of that. I'm like, holy heck, that thing's gonna be dragging on the ground.
Yeah.
Awesome. Garrett, for the record, Giant Wolf Spider has is medium-sized beast. has dark vision out to 60 feet, and blind sight 10 feet. Passive perception 13.
One more time on those stats.
Medium beast, dark vision 60 feet, blind sight 10, and passive perception 13.
Okay. Perfect. So as you look through his eyes and you crawl in this cave, you're initially it's well lit from the flame that Amrok tossed in there, and you see him standing on the outside, watching, looking in. Continuing forward, you walk down this 40-yard entrance cave, and it doesn't open up much for these first 40 yards. You find it's pretty damp, pretty gnarly. You can't smell much out of the spider. You can continue to see it, but you can almost feel the scent coming off of it. Before going those 40 yards and crawling on the ceiling, definitely slick and tough to get a handle on, but he manages to do so pretty handily. And as you do, you come into this much larger open space. The total area here as it expands about 50 feet in diameter and then about 50 feet tall. So this large domed room that's pretty open, seems to be closed off from almost all sides. You do see one entrance cave on the opposite side. It's about a 10 foot by 10 foot tunnel that breaks off a little bit further. But otherwise, this particular area seems to be wide open, unused. You see pretty much solid ground on the base, a few puddles around, and once again, just very, very mildewy, moldy, mossy walls. And you hear the drip, drip coming down as this thing comes through and starts to get very dark. The dark vision being the only thing letting it see as you continue to move through into this larger cave system. Do you want to continue forward into the tunnel?
Yeah, he's going to go all as far as he can go.
Okay. So seeing this 10-foot wide area as he heads in, heads under this arched tunnel, and immediately as he does so, he goes about 10 feet forward, and so this tunnel, this second part of the tunnel is very small, very limited, and it instantly opens up into a much larger cavern. This one's sitting maybe 150 feet long, and it's about 80 feet wide. There are stalagmites and stalactites everywhere. There's puddles over in the corner. There's you see again once again moss and swampy basin everywhere, and there's multiple crevices and cracks leading in various forms. You can count immediately at least 5 or 6 of them, little 5-foot wide, 10-foot wide openings in each corner of the cave that seem to go in different directions and twist around. You can't immediately see it. Something outside the door. You again puddles on the floor. There's this swampy, dirty puddling within the moss, and you catch some movement throughout. Nothing consistent. Everything is dark in here. No torches, but you do see some shadowy figures moving forward in different areas. Catching sight of it, you have seen these before, so you do have some visibility as Adrin. You recognize what appears to be kobold-like creatures moving swiftly around, and they seem to be scattered and a bit chaotic. They are almost on alert and on warning. Go and give me a stealth check.
Wait, hold on. I think I have this. I do. Sheet stealth. Ooh, it's +7. Nice.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, so you seem to be unnoticed as you crawl. Are you maintaining on the ceiling? You're going to maintain on the ceiling, or
yeah,
as you just stepped in, you've kind of seen this whole thing?
Yeah, maintain on the ceiling, and he's going to move in a little bit further, see if he can see anything else.
Okay. As he comes in, he kind of continues to see a couple ledges, and again, now that you've got a little bit better visibility, what you're seeing is this cavern that stretches opposite you about 90 feet, accordingly, and it is about 80 feet wide. Just to give you a feel, again, a 50-foot dome ceiling. The center's a lot of stalagmites. The first thing you see is on the right, about 30 feet over. There's a small 5-foot gap. It seems to be a tunnel that leads off in the distance. You see a kobold run down that direction momentarily. Another 30 feet falling around the walls. There seems to be another like 5.5 foot area that juts off You can't quite see any further back into that area. You see a few kobolds kind of scattering on what appears to be a little ledge right there in between those two. From there is a puddle. You can't quite tell if you can see the reflection. You hear some dripping of water into it. Directly across, you see another opening about 10 feet wide that goes a little off in the distance, but it's really stretching your limitations there for visibility as you're wrapping through. Continuing to come around at about your 10 o'clock, you see another small crevice that disappears into something. You see a few ledges in between them. They're sitting up about 10 feet or so. And then you've got one at about maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock. You find another small crevice that disappears off a little tunnel that heads in about 5 feet wide, and then another one at about 6:30 or 7 o'clock to your left that seems to just disappear. So a lot of little crevices and tunnels. You catch multiple shadows. You lose sight of them at some points, but you seem to see at least 3 or 4, but tough to tell how many are duplicated.
Okay. He's gonna go down the closest tunnel.
Okay.
Where he came from. So
there's the one if you came through from the 6 o'clock, there's one at 7 o'clock, and then there's another one about 3 o'clock.
Well, he's gonna go. You know what? He's gonna go down to the 7 o'clock one.
Okay. So as you crawl across, directly below you, there's another 10-foot shelf bed that's built up with a moldy, swampy puddle down at the base. You crawl over and you kind of duck down a little bit. So these tunnels are only about 5 feet wide and maybe about 7 feet tall. So you have to get pretty low to the ground to make this happen. You kind of watch. There's no kobolds in your direct area or kobold-like creatures, and so you can kind of duck down quickly and bounce around with your stealth check. As you pop in there, you see that the tunnel continues to remain narrow. This thing is only 5 or 7 feet for as far as you can see. You go about maybe 6 or 7 feet in. It branches off to the right and left. Another 5-foot tunnel over here that seems to branch. Another 5-foot one on your right that seems to branch a little bit, creating all these little nooks and crannies and crevices that you can't quite see behind. Very, very maze-like in a way. Very like snowflake-esque. As you stepped in there are 3-way, one to the left, one to the right, and straight. Which way do you want to go?
Always go left.
Always go left. So as you turn left and follow the wall, you follow for only a few feet. It kind of wraps around for maybe 10, 15 feet or so, doing like a 270-degree turn, kind of coming back, and you find this little nook and cranny back there, a little 5-foot by 5-foot area. You find what appears to be a sleeping kobold, or at least a nest of one. There's actually no kobold there, but there's a nest that seems to build up where they would actually sleep. A little isolated area, and then as you're looking into that one, immediately to the right, you find another little 5-foot by 5-foot nook and crevice. This one very dark as well. Seems to be some type of bedding in there also. And then to your right is another third one there. So each of them only go in about 5 feet.
He'll come back out, and then he'll go to the one that would have been straight as he came. So he's going left, and then he's going to go straight, and then he's going to go right.
Okay. Continuing further down this wall, you again, it's about 5 feet. This thing just turns left and right. The water continues to go to the walls. You struggle. You can feel the struggle to maintain the grip as the walls are slippery, slimy. Crawling through this, it's very narrow, which isn't a big issue, but you kind of feel on edge and nerved at any given point if you can't see around the nearest corner. So you move forward kind of 10 feet, 20 feet weaving. It wraps around to the right a little further. You see a few more nooks and crannies off to the left. You see one that actually has a sleeping kobold-like creature in it that seems to be nested and down. It's only a few feet to your side, but you're managed to be stealthy. You don't seem to disturb it. As you continue, it then buckles back around to the left and loops, and now you're heading to an area that you find a large number of bones. You find this. They seem to be scattered everywhere. Some of them more recent. Some of them seem old and dusty and brittle. You see some fresh meat on a few of them that seems to have gone a bit rotten. You see some other storage of what appears to be meat that was recently live and just killed. So it looks to be some type of leg of a creature that may have been ripped off. You see some remnants of hair on it, but still fairly full of meat, tucked away in this little nook. And then as you kind of continue, it loops back around on yourself. The overall loop only being maybe 40, 50 feet, so not far. So out of all this, you've traveled maybe 80 feet back in this cave and this little tunnel and come to a dead end, looped around itself, and you're now heading back the way you came.
About how much time has passed so far since the wolf spider went into the cave?
It's been about 5 to 7 minutes. It hasn't taken you too
Oh,
long,
okay.
maybe 10 max.
Okay.
You've been traveling slowly, but you haven't traveled that far. It's taken me
Okay.
longer to describe it than it has for you to move through it.
Okay. He'll come back out and go to the right.
Okay, so you're going to go to that 3 o'clock?
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
Okay. So as you come back out, again, shifting figures, a few of them seem to be a little closer now to the door. They're kind of looking at the entry cavern where they were. They seem to have taken up a little bit of a position. So as you stealthily kind of climb over the ceiling, you've got to climb over top of their position. As you do so, they okay.
Yeah, he'll go stealthily.
Okay. Lights on this one. As it gets a little bit riskier moving forward.
What's that?
I said as it gets a little riskier moving forward. I got a few rolls to do here.
Okay.
But he's cruising. There's this happy-go-lucky music tells me that nothing's going to go wrong. There's nothing to worry about.
This is a kobold lair that's housing a dragon. They're like slaves to the dragon.
So I will be passing along this information as I go, because as you see Adrian, you just kind of like his eyes kind of roll back into the back of his head, and he just kind of is like in like this daze almost, and he just is kind of like rattling like what he sees through the spider's multifaceted eyes.
So you see 5 or 6 now kobolds kind of lining up. You see them they're dragging some type of little handheld device on them that they're swinging around. You see them moving towards the entrance of this cave. You see a few more kind of running back. Before suddenly one looks up and seems to catch your movement. You're watching closely. You see him shift in your direction, but doesn't seem to see anything. He then turns attention back to the entrance of the cave, where they seem to be a little bit thrown off from everything, all the noises outside of it, and you are unseen. So continuing over towards that 3 o'clock, towards that 3 o'clock tunnel. Again, it's only about 5 feet wide, maybe 6 feet tall. So this kind of little, small little area. You see what appears to be, they're coming out of this thing. It's again very mossy basin, but you see it's almost like a creek or beat down, or it's a strong path that comes out of this. The moss is very, very beat up right in the center and pushed outward on both sides. And then so as you sneak into this one, this tunnel goes about 15 feet forward, branches off to the left slightly. It goes a little bit leftward. You continue following it. Never really grows in its size. Turns slightly, and then make a sharp 90-degree turn to the right. No branches off here. It's a pretty isolated tunnel. As you come around the corner, you believe you start to hear something off in the future. As right around the corner as well, coming in the opposite direction, another kobold returning, the one that you saw run, similar to what you saw running in here earlier, coming back out. And this is a 5'7" tunnel. You guys are basically eye to eye. You're upside down on this thing. He is staring at you in place. What are you going to do? You guys are about 5 feet apart at this point. You guys came around the corner together.
Well, I guess it's kind of on the spider, because I'm just going through his senses. I really don't have too much control on him, but he would probably just
That's right, you don't have control. I forgot B-Sense does not do so.
he would probably just try to run.
All right. As you guys are in the same turn order here, let's go see how the reaction is. Go ahead and give me a dex check. For the spider?
Ooh. That's with a +3. Yikes.
Oh shit.
All right. He manages to react more quickly as the spider begins to turn and rip around. This thing lunges at you and attempts to stab with a dagger. That's going to be an 11 to hit.
That misses.
All right. Misses with the dagger. So you are going to hear in some ungodly noise that almost sounds like a roar to you at times, yet somehow has some level of pattern behind it. You hear him let out a bit of a scream in a way. That's it.
How far away is he from? How far away total is the spider away from me? Because he's actually a familiar at this point.
Let's see. So he's. Let's see. There. So he has moved about 210 feet,
Okay,
240, 250.
He's out of my
Yeah,
communication.
270 feet.
Okay, he's out of my communication range, so.
Okay. Yeah, unless it's by, it's by how the crow flies, it's still probably about 190.
Yeah.
So yeah, outside of your communication range. So you just want to max out your distance then for the flee? Is that what you think you would do?
I think that's
All
what
right,
he would
and
do.
he is 40 feet?
Yeah, 40 feet.
All right, ripping out 80 feet, he manages to... Okay, he managed to get back into the main chamber and climb the ceiling, and he can get about 20 feet into the main chamber with a double move.
And then he's probably going to take some action to kind of hide. So he'll probably try to stealth.
Okay, did you want to do that for instead of double moving, or does he have a bonus action to hide?
No, once he gets back into the big chamber, he'll look for like a stalagmite, tight, and try to like hide behind around it.
Okay, so he's able to kind of get some distance there, and go give me another stealth check based on that.
Nice, same thing.
No issues there. Whew. And he ducks into the shadows. However, a lot of commotion now. The last thing he sees is the kobolds reacting to this noise. You guys all hear it echo outside of the chamber at this point. Some kick out of the chamber in very mild fashion, but you guys can hear the echo of it from there. At this point, there seems to be a lot of other activity. Let's see if anyone saw where he went. They seem to have lost track of him. He is hidden behind the stalagmite, unable to be seen.
Alright, he's going to hang out here for like half a minute. Kind of see, kind of watch the reaction of the kobolds in this main chamber.
All right. So you're watching them. The one comes ripping out of the same tunnel that you were at, comes over, confers with the others. You see them scatter for a moment. They seem to make their way around the tunnel, all trying to find you. You see them looking around. You see some searching, some scattering. They seem to be on heightened alert. But after some scurrying around, some additional communication and moving, they come back together, confer a little bit, and you see them just in a discussion. They kind of maintain a huddle at the moment.
Do any of them seem to be coming out towards the main entrance of the cave?
No, they all seem to draw a line right at that second tunnel that you went through. So none of them have even entered that 50-foot dome that you first came through yet. They are maintaining their position internally.
All right, at this point, I'm going to break not concentration, but I'm going to break my senses from the beast sense for a minute, and I'm just going to tell everybody what's happened so far. They don't seem to be. There's a bunch of kobolds. They're on high alert. Honestly, these might be the things that we don't want to just outright destroy. Maybe they're the ones that we need to question.
So has our group been? I mean, because I know that we technically set up the level. I'm assuming that, like, have we been sitting around a fire and we're getting ready to rest, Is that like we're setting up for that? I'm guessing.
So like that's kind of, I mean, you guys just ended battle. You haven't told me you've gone through a long rest yet. I'm saying that you guys have come out of that battle better men. You are greatly improved. You are strong and women. Don't get me wrong here.
Got it.
Let's
All
take a
right.
step back from a game playing capacity or from a character capacity. When you guys leveled up, did it automatically increase? Did you guys go to full health for your
I
characters?
did. I did not yet because
I did
I wasn't
not.
sure.
Yeah. Let me run that quick check
Because
here.
I did mine manually and it did not. But I held off on doing it before.
I'm on roll 20. I'm on roll 20.
So
There we go.
I can go back into the spider senses for probably another 40 minutes or so. Do we want to set up camp?
Yes.
Yeah, so you guys are not long rested yet. So let's put it that way, or short rested. You've done a 10-minute ritual, and then you've got descent. So you guys have not gotten the full benefits of a rest realistically.
Right.
Can we even
yes.
speak to kobolds?
You don't know. You did not try to speak with them last time.
That was a question to the group.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that wasn't a meta question. That was
I'm with you.
because
They speak
Eric
Minotaur.
was
They
Eric
speak
was
of,
relaying the information.
if it's Abyssal or Minotaur, then yeah, I could speak with them, no problem. Probably not though.
I can't. I cannot. Well, I mean, we can. Hold on. I think I have tongues. Come out.
Yeah,
And
but
is
does
that D-Shag? Is that
does
D-Shaggins or
tongues-
Warwick?
I don't know.
Does tongues allow you to understand it?
That's what I'm gonna look it up.
I think so.
Keegan, you totally missed my.
No. I picked up what you're putting down. Actually, I don't. I do not have.
I think Siddle does.
This Siddle does though. Siddle has. I'm pretty sure I'm almost positive,
But that I'm not sure.
Do we know what language they speak? Can we roll a what would we do, history check or something?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a history check if you want to figure that out.
So if Siddle were to
I'll
use
assist you
tongues,
with that.
if Siddle were to use tongues, he could understand what they're saying, and they would understand him.
Okay. So you're pretty sure, Adrian. What you know is historically there have been the kobold stories that you've heard that they have spoken. They're the occasional kobold that knows some common. Typically, those that are more less isolated, more in surrounding cities, involved with cities. However, you believe that they speak some other type of ancient language that you're not entirely sure of. And as you're thinking of it, kind of on the tip of your tongue, Althea, it hits you. You know that they naturally speak Draconic, and some of them know how to speak Common.
Does Siddle know Draconic?
Althea does.
Oh, all right.
Well, no shit. That's awesome. All right. Great. Just glad it's not Griswold. Aren't we all?
Let's see. I don't know what Siddle knows. I'm not sure if we put this down here.
Adrian, you said the initial caves were kind of short, correct?
They weren't they? Like there was a section that were kind of
like
short, so I didn't know
5'7".
how.
Yeah, like 5 to 7 feet tall.
I don't know how frost giants would have fit in through here.
So remember, the very first ones that you went through was about a 10-foot wide, maybe 15-foot tall. That was that first 40-yard section. It then opened up into the 50 by 50, and then was about a 10-foot tall by, or 10-foot wide by 10 to 15-foot tall secondary tunnel, and opened up the big one. All the small chambers beyond that have all been like 5 to 7 feet. So it was once you got inside the main chamber that they were tiny.
So I don't know how the frost giants were planning on, or what they were doing with what they were planning on doing. But maybe the kobolds have something that the frost giants are looking for.
Well,
Well, they
we'll
were
find
they were
out.
sending in a troll. They were sending in a troll to do the bidding. So, or at least we think. So
Or
Um,
was the troll with the kobolds? Kobolds.
I don't know. That's a good point. Why
But-
Do
why
we
don't
see any
set up-
trench coats?
There does not appear to be any trench coats, no.
Is that Amrook or Carl?
Both?
Both.
Why
They're one
don't
and the
we?
same.
Why don't we set up? Why don't we set up camp and we can keep look. Frank can stay over here as well, and then find a way to go in and question. I think that is the best. Why these frost giants were trying to go in here is they seemed like they were looking for something.
That's cool.
As we
We
were-
killed the captain. So how about we just go back to town? It's gonna be
I
hard
would-
for them to get things done without their captain.
I want to know what they
Yeah,
were
they
looking
might be.
for.
They might
It
have been
seems
after
like
something.
It seems like they've been searching for something. As we trailed them, we noticed that they were searching, not only in this place, but others. It
Have we
doesn't
checked
seem
the-
right.
We're close enough to where the Rada Vonendon would have gone off if we were close to the city, right? It's what, 10 miles? 10-mile radius?
Yeah, you guys are only, 5 miles or so to the north of it, 3 to 5 miles, somewhere in that vicinity from what you can tell. So if you ran it in the city, which I believe you did, yeah, you'd be within that realm and you'd not get any hits.
And if we're gonna walk, I mean,
But-
it's gonna take forever because
But they
Griswold's not
could
gonna
be
get through half the
they
day.
could be looking for other magical artifacts or magical whatever. And quite frankly, interrogating kobolds is going to be easier than trying to interrogate frost giants.
Is it with the captain's head?
What's that?
Is it gonna be easier unless we take the captain's head to them, the ones remaining on the boat?
We have
Oh, them too. Yeah.
we have the helm of the captain here.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the helm. We will remove the head.
I heard you. But
Listen, a helmet's not too convincing. We can steal a helmet.
So
decapitated.
just keep in mind the head is about 4 feet tall, 3 feet in diameter, probably
you can
weighs
do that.
a couple hundred pounds.
Decapitating a frost giant. That's
I don't care what you're okay with. I'll cut it off.
I
just let him cut it off and drag it too.
if you're going to drag it, then that is up to you. But I am
Just
not.
throw it in the
going-
bag of holding.
I have the bag of holding, and I will not
Yeah.
put it in there.
That's fine. I can climb on you.
I say we take a long rest and check out what's in the cave. We're already here.
Yes, let's take a long rest, and so Frank will go up, and he's gonna kind of come over to the side and just kind of peek in, just kind of chill there, just ready to.
So you thinking of the cavern?
He's gonna stay right there and just be an armed guard. If he picks up on anything, he's gonna let Grizzy Poo know, and we're gonna be rocking and rolling, crushing some skulls.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Harshnag if Harshnag, do you know if any if there's particular magical items or religious artifacts that perhaps these frost giants would be after in particular?
Other than the ring that we've heard of, it could be any number of weapons that they would think would give them advantage. I do not know of what may be around here. This cave is of no familiarity to me or their quest. This everlasting winter is the only artifact that I'm aware of that they would be actively searching. I'm sorry I could not be of more help.
No,
It's been very, very long since I've been with my clan. I know who they are at their core, but I do not know what plans they may have developed since my departure many decades ago.
Would it be common for them to search hopelessly for something, and this could just not even be a clue, Harshnag? Like, this just could not be relevant, correct?
Could be.
It is certainly possible. The way I've seen them scouring the north, wandering, I won't say aimlessly, but they seem to be lacking purpose at the moment. It is possible that they surely stumble upon this and were attempting to enter. However, the search pattern that they ran circling the city was quite abnormal. Usually they would travel in a pack, so that is not able to be explained by me.
All right. I say we set up camp. I'm going to take first watch, and the first half hour of that first watch, I'm just going to go into B-Sense and see if the spider can see anything more going through the caves.
Okay, so he's still in the cave. You're gonna go back in the beast sense. Got it.
I'm gonna sit up right next to this rock and pull up my roll, and just in case, and I'll take first watch as well.
I was gonna say, so where are the watches at?
I'm just going to kind of post up on this rock up here.
Left wrist.
Actually, whatever Siddle, whatever watch Siddle's on, Griswold's gonna.
I got you.
All right, so Adjun's on first watch because you went ahead into beast sense. Who else has who's?
Why don't we just say Griswold and Siddle? Just since Siddle's not here, Siddle by committee, just toss him on there.
All right, Grizz, Siddle, and Adjun first shift.
And then Frank, as always, is every shift.
Of course.
I'll be 2 and 3.
Chamb3r will go 3.
Two Shags and Warwick will go 2.
When's Harshnag going?
Where else are you?
So he waits when you guys want him to. So let's see, Althea, Warwick, and hold on, I'm trying to balance this out. Warwick and D Shags are on second. So looking at this, Grizz or Heartline will go third shift.
I'll go third as well.
Oh, shit.
That's a crew on third. I like it.
That's a heck of a. Well, those are 3 crews right there. All right. Everyone, go ahead and roll perception checks for me.
Oh shit, my bad. That's okay.
Ooh.
16. Alright,
Well, that would kind of make sense, Eric.
Yeah, it actually does.
Alright. 16 for Grizzy, 12 for Frankie. No, 4 for Grant. 4 for Frank. I don't know why he. Shit, he's on damage too.
He
How
leveled
about-
up.
I have a general question outside of game.
All right.
So, take a look at Magical Secrets. So once you read that, let me know, because I got a question about it. I just popped it up in the...
Oh, you popped it up there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So the question is, I can pick
That's
2
why.
spells.
That's why.
When I level up, the Charactermancer allows me to, add on a spell, but it also allows me to replace one spell if I want to, right?
Yep.
So, could I replace whatever Magical Secret spell I had before with a different one? And secondly, since it says the chosen spells count as bard spells, right? So say I were to replace a 3rd level spell with a 3rd level fireball spell. It's technically a 3rd level wizard spell, but it says it counts as a bard spell. So could I actually understand that? Does that make sense? Am I asking that right? Because I technically couldn't cast a 3rd level wizard spell as I currently am, but since I have the Magical Secrets feat, and it would then I could pick whatever spells I want, whatever 2 spells I want from any class. Doesn't matter, as long as I can cast that spell.
Yep.
You could even do a
Yeah.
3rd level spell as long as you can cast a 3rd level spell.
So it doesn't
Yeah, I was
matter.
gonna say, so
Oh,
you can
okay.
pick anything. You can
Yeah.
pick a sorcerer spell if you wanted to, or
You can pick
As
a
long
it
as
doesn't
it's
have to
or a
be.
druid or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Druid spells you can pull from any class. That's what Magical Secrets essentially
Paladin.
lets you do,
Okay.
and it makes it a bard spell that you would allow it to that you
Okay.
alone can cast. So
Okay,
no,
I
you
just wanted
can't
to
teach Citadel it, but you can do it. But it doesn't count against those limited number of bard spells that you know.
Could I then, as
Oh, but it
I'm trying to
doesn't
figure
count
out-
against the number of spells you know.
I'm trying to figure out how I can do this with, because I have a spell book and so does Citadel.
Yep.
What if I start copying his spells?
What you guys can do, you can share all your spells back and forth. Magical Secrets will let you stick outside of that regime. So you
Right.
probably want to pick
Right.
something that's not one of his spells already.
Right.
Yeah. If he knows it, then you don't need it.
Right.
The
But
magical
Like if he
secret-
can teach it to you, you don't need it.
but I couldn't like if he taught me Firewall, which is a 4th level wizard spell. If he taught it to me, I couldn't cast it.
Correct. You can't cast it until you can cast a 4th level spell.
So I can cast a 4th level wizard spell.
No,
Right,
just the 4th
right.
level spell.
Correct.
No.
Right. That's right. You're
I
multi-class.
see why. You're multi-classing,
Yeah, you're
so you'd
multi-class.
have to hit a higher level wizard
Right.
since you've already had so many bards. Okay.
I don't think so. Because Magical
Yeah.
Secret says as long as you can cast that level. It doesn't say from what class you can cast it.
Mhm.
As long as you can cast a 4th level, it would replace your bard spell, but you would get another lower level bard spell.
Right.
What I think
Because you
what I
have
think-
to learn you know a certain amount of bard spells.
Right.
So how many? What are you, wizard and
Wizard.
bard?
Yep.
And how many classes in each?
I have 2 in wizard, 2 levels in wizard, and the rest in bard.
Okay, so you got 7 bard, 2 wizard.
Yep. So I can cast up to 4th level bard spells and 1st level wizard spells without magical secrets.
Okay, so that's why
I
you
thought that
want-
was changed. That you now just have open access to spell. I thought your spell slots are equal.
Oh, so you're just saying he's a 9th level spellcaster.
I think that's the
Or-
way it's ruled.
No, for 2
I don't
spells
think
he
so.
would be.
You
For 2 spells, he's open to take whatever at 4th level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Garrett's saying that the rules might have changed to where now, like it usually was written where it was how many ever wizard or bard or whatever. I think he's saying that the rules might have been changed to where since he is just 9th level, he is a 9th level spellcaster. Meaning that I think it's how many ever wizard and how many ever whatever.
Yeah, but Magical
spellcaster level
Secrets
you are.
is what we're talking about. So he
Oh.
could do a 4th level wizard spell.
Oh yeah. Magical secrets. Yeah, that's you pick whatever from any spell list, and since you can cast 4th level bard, you can cast 4th level whatever.
But those would be
Fine.
separate from his wizard, right?
Yes. I
Like,
think
he
it's
can
two
only
two
pick-
separate things. Yeah, I think we're doing 2 separate things. Like magical secrets is one, and then
Yeah.
spellcaster.
I thought it was a 2-part question there. That's why I was trying to figure this out together on
Yeah.
how that applies.
It was.
So
It
it's
was.
like
It was really a 2-part question.
so the magical secrets, I could pick whatever 2 spells I want, up to my spell level from any class. So what if
Correct.
I pick, let's say, 2 druid spells,
Yep.
whatever level those are, it doesn't matter, 2 druid spells, but then I copy all the spells that Citadel has, and he has 4th
Yep.
and 5th level wizard spells. So since I know those spells, could I essentially interchange those since I know magical secrets?
Once you
Oh.
could cast a 5th level, yes.
I know why he's asking the question though.
Yeah, I don't understand that. If you, I'm not sure what you mean by interchanging them. So the benefit of magical secrets means you can choose and learn 2 spells that are outside of your vicinity. You can learn all wizard spells already.
But I could, just because I learned the wizard spell at 4th level doesn't mean I can cast it, because I cannot cast 4th level wizard spells.
True, but just because you take a 4th level druid spell doesn't mean you can cast a 4th. Oh, I see. So you're trying to interchange them as your bard level, since you have a higher level bard.
Kind of. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. I didn't want to derail us. I was just generally curious. We can we could table it for Echo Chamber. I was just generally curious because I might change up some of my spells depending on how we do this, but we can keep going.
You can. Well, as I read it, as long as you can do it as a bard, that level you can take any person's cast at that point.
Right.
So, if you learned a 5th level wizard spell from Siddle, you would not be able to use that until you've leveled up enough to do a 5th level bard or a 5th level wizard.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, you could
But you
interchange
got-
them, but you have to be able to do a 5th level bard spell. Like that's your limiting factor.
Right.
Mm.
I'm just trying to use this to its maximum potential. That's all.
Keegan's just trying
No,
to
I
get Warwick
agree.
to
We might need to
cast-
come back to this because I was under the impression from my reading the last few weeks that you get a 5th level spell now, right? Because you're considered a 9th level caster.
I wasn't playing it like that. I was considering it a 7th level bard and a 2nd level wizard.
Mm.
Correct.
No, you
But I
add.
think you're considered a 9th level spellcaster now
Yeah.
officially.
If you look at
you would
the,
get a 5th level.
Oh
if
well.
you look at multi-classing, you combine levels for bard, cleric, druid, sorcerer, and wizard. And then there's a little chart where you can do. So you're what, 9th level altogether? So you got 4, 3, 3, 3, and 1. So you have a 1st level, 1 5th levels, 1 5th,
Oh my.
1 5th level spell.
How
Oh,
big
I
is the
wait.
fog cloud in 5th level? I'm just curious.
Big.
It goes by 20 feet for each additional level, so
Yeah,
it'd
so
be
it's like
an 80
Entire
foot radius, 100 foot radius.
Entire
It
screen.
cover the whole map.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Keegan, you don't know what map he's looking at, do you? Like if you type in multi-classing 5e and pull it up, there's a chart. Yeah.
So I
this
get
is
I
stupid.
get a ton of other spells. Because I have okay. I'm gonna have to tinker with Warwick and I'll do that.
There's a
Yeah,
Yeah, I
lot.
think we gotta review a more thorough spellcasting as a multi-classer and tinker. I think you might be able to tweak the way you handle a couple of these things.
Yeah.
Knowing that you're now a 9th level spellcaster with 1 5th level spell, and we got to talk about the limits of how you could use each individual class. Because I don't think we've done that. So play it as you would right now, and I'll allow you a retrograde adjustment after this session for your magical secret selection.
Yeah, cool. All right, that makes
Based on the new rules.
I will
Yeah.
I will drastically change a few things based off of that.
Oh.
All right. Anyways,
Let's just be honest. You just want Warwick to cast Fireball from his penis. Like that's all you want to do.
Pretty sure he already has a little flame down there.
I say, I think it already has some, yeah.
no.
and
Every
it's not
time.
fireball.
I got out of that.
It's
I don't
from
have any
Fireball.
STDs yet.
Little magical healing there.
Yeah. I had great.
Well, those are the magical secrets.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Greater restoration cures all that, right?
I'm not doing lay of hands because I can cure certain things with that. I'm not touching you.
I love it.
I don't know if you can cure AIDS though.
Yeah. Hold on. What?
I don't know. That's what you might think. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm not
Alright,
even. You know what? I don't even. want to look at
And
it.
so, does anyone roll for Siddle by chance?
Uh,
And which one's Frank? Yeah, there it is.
I can get Siddle real quick.
Oh, I can actually cure the target of one disease or neutralize a poisoning effect with lay on hands, but that comes at a slot of 5 HP per disease.
18
or
for Siddle.
Okay.
Okay, so we are peachy then.
So as the long rest begins, middle of the day, it's just past noon, and you guys are starting this thing fairly early. Frank senses the danger inside. He is maintaining a close watch. He can smell the scent from inside this cave. A light growl comes out of him. Grizz, Adrian, and Spittle. Anything you guys want to do on the first shift while this is ongoing?
Like I said, I'm just going to
So you're in beast sense.
for the first half hour, just go into beast sense mode and see if he can go down one of the other cave entrances.
Okay. And then Grizz, what are you doing this?
I just have a question for Sid. I sent you something also, G, but Sid, I have a question, and I'm hoping that you can keep it between us for now. But you were able to message, Harshnag, based on a description. It seemed to work fairly well. I'd like to know if you could maybe help me out at some point after our escapades here. Um, these fissures have been coming up more and more often, and I'm curious to see if I give you a description of my father, maybe you can try to contact him to see where he's at. I don't know if it works. The evil that surrounds him might be too much, but something that might be beneficial.
Yeah, I can certainly try. Fuck if I know if it'll work. I didn't expect it to reach Harshnag though. Is that was that an okay Siddle?
That was a good settle. That was a good rusty.
That was pretty
That was a good
pretty
rusty.
damn accurate.
I think your camera was a little too low.
Yeah,
You could
dude,
see
come
way
on.
too
Oh,
much.
is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, let me. I'm gonna drop way down here. There we go.
I appreciate it, Sybil. It's yeah, it's something that I've been looking forward to. But once we get some of these things settled, then I'll chat with you.
There, we'll give it a shot.
All right, then
Good.
I'll,
So, Adrian, as you're watching this, watching inside the cave, you can see the kobolds. You now see multiple presences. You can see not quite clearly in this dark vision, but you're seeing at least you've seen at least 8 or 9 now in the main chamber. And then they scurry around. You see them start to queue up a little bit closer near that front of the cave. They seem to be active and engaged. The chaos that initially was occurring seems to have settled down, and they now seem to be getting in some type of formation.
Who's on first watch again?
Grizz, yourself, and Spittle with Frank.
Settle. Okay. Do I see any of them that seem to be like in charge?
You see a couple that are slightly taller than the other ones, seem to be, bossing a few around a little bit. There seem to be 4 of them that are taking a bit of charge.
Okay. He's going to try to scooch down one of the other tunnels while this is going on.
All right. So you've already evaluated 2 of them. There's the one at 9 o'clock. There's the one at, say, 10:30. One at noon, at 12 o'clock, and one at 2 o'clock.
The one at
You got
9.
4 options. The one at 9?
Always go left.
Always go left.
Always go left. So as you make your way across the ceiling and go over, you cross over a few of these, what appear to be a little bit stronger kobold-like creatures, making your way, once again, a small tunnel, only about 5 to 7 feet wide, about 6 to 7 feet tall, and make your way through. This thing's about 10, 15 feet long. As you go through there, you come to a dead end. It tees off to the right and to the left. But you kind of take a quick glance, and it's actually just a center column. So they seem to wrap around. There's only about a 5-foot wide, 10-foot wide column, so it creates a little loop around it. As you go around off to the left, you see a stream that seems to be migrating its way down into a little pool, just slowly trickling. The water does not look healthy by any means. It seems to be coming from a little 5-foot chasm up further. It kind of makes its way into the rock and then turns into just kind of pours out of the rock a little bit, so it's actually filtering through it. You see some small fissures that they can bleed out of. Meanwhile, so as you did that little loop, the tunnel turns to the right. Again, kind of narrowing down. Actually, it gets about 3 feet wide at one point. You almost have to squeeze through there. Still a little taller. Continues that way for about 15 feet before once again teeing off. To the left, as you start to come around the corner, you see a kobold standing there. He hasn't quite seen you yet. You're moving through fairly stealthily and carrying that 25 through. So he's just at the corner. He guards this little area. It seems to be a little 10-foot room, kind of 10 foot by 10 foot little chasm. He's sitting there on a stone, on a rock, guarding it. You see what appears to be some hole or something off onto the right, perhaps a toilet, perhaps something else. But that you can't see too much inside there without getting caught by him. So you can only kind of quickly break to the right if you want to.
Okay. He'll come back out then if there's nothing else down that.
Okay, yeah, just there to the right, you can see that there's more. This guy's to the left in a little pocket. There is a tunnel to the right that opens up a little bit, but you kind of have to shoot past this doorway and past the kobold to do it. So it's a bit of a gamble. It's up to you.
No, he's going to come back out to the main chamber and go to. What did you say? There's one at 10:30.
Yep, one at 10:30. As you're looking out, just be aware you're hearing some movement down on the southern side of the cave again. It's outside of your 60-foot reach, but you hear them scrambling, so they're moving. So as you go to that 10:30, once again, small 5-foot, 7-foot cavern, you start to weave around. This one kind of cuts back to the south a little bit. You continue on for about 10, 15, 20 feet. A small cave breaks off to your left once again. Looking inside there, you see a tunnel. You see a little bit of light poking into this one, but not much, with a kobold right at the base, leaning up against the wall, armed with what appears to be a sling. Almost not quite staring in your general direction, but it'd be, but you're kind of in the corner of his eye. So that branches off to the left. You can also continue straight, and the tunnel is about 5 feet wide. And you can see it opens up beyond that.
We're gonna go the straight route.
Okay. As you cut across this path going straight, you see that one on the right, it opens up fairly considerably. You got about a 30-foot cavern right there. On the left, you see a small crack, a small 3-foot wide gap. This is actually the area that you just came from. So you see that it actually would loop around. You can see that other kobold that was sitting there on the rock guarding it now as you look through the cavern. So this thing must do a big loop somewhere off to the left. But to the right, the cavern opens up a little bit. You see a few beds on the ground. You see some desks that are there. You see what appears to be a little armory. There's some slings hanging on the wall, some daggers, some bows, some staffs. You see some other chests of goods in here. It's a bit of a storage area, from what you can tell.
Okay.
That actually seems a dead end. As you look in there, you can look about 50 feet up, and it seems a dead end in a small area.
All right.
There are a couple kobolds sitting back there as well.
He's going to come back out to the main chamber again, and there's one to the 12 o'clock.
Yep, one to the 12 o'clock that you haven't explored yet, and one to your 3 o'clock. Or, sorry, like 1:30 or 2. You already explored the 3 o'clock one.
Yep,
okay.
12.
Coming at 12 o'clock one, you come, this one's fairly wide. This is about a 10-foot wide chamber, 10 foot tall at least, so a little bit larger. It seems to all be carved. All of this seems to be very natural as well as you're going through. You take a notice. None of it seems to be too man-made at this point. But as soon as you cross through this initial, what would I call this initial tunnel per se? You see a very large. I'm going to use a word here. Don't get too excited per se, but you're not quite sure. A very large chasm carved into the ground that's about 5 to 7 feet wide, and probably kind of goes about 20 feet in each direction. This almost natural chimney-like structure that drops down. You can't quite see the bottom of it. It is about 7 feet. There seem to be a couple kobolds on the other side of it, on a little ledge over there. But the depths are pure black, and you can't quite see much. But it's 5 to 7 feet wide, and these couple kobolds are kind of standing right on the precipice of it, on the opposite side.
Do they look like they're posting guard, or?
They appear to be posting guard of some type. They are standing fairly rigid, looking off, not really looking down the pit, looking out more so with everything going on. So they're looking at the rest of the group right now.
He's going to take that opportunity to try to scooch down into the chasm a little bit.
Okay. As you do so, go ahead and give me a stealth check for that. You're getting awfully close to these guys. So there's a little bit of let's do another check here. Oh, you're lucky. Rolling like a machine today with this giant wolf spider. You evade their presence and you slowly climb down this wall. This is a little bit drier than the rest of it. You start to leave behind the mossy, swampy areas from above, and begin climbing down these drier walls. The pit continues downward a pretty good ways. You travel at least 40 feet down as you're dropping, before you start to see a ground in sight. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Can Continuing deeper, you get to that 40-foot mark, that 50-foot, as the cavern now opens up. You see you are on the ceiling of a very large open cavern. There's some numerous hallways that appear to be dropped through in different ways. This one appears to be. Give me a perception check, actually. All right. This one is much darker, but your dark vision does help you down there. This one appears to have some remnants of man-made or formed carvings in addition to the natural cavern. You can actually see a combination of both in this very large area. For all the stalagmites you see, it's still entirely dark down here. This one appears to be very empty, from what you can tell, and you do see several rooms and caverns that drop off in multiple ways, much more complex than above. But as you're looking at them, you can definitely see movement. You catch fairly large movement of a shadow, but can't quite make it out. Not the little rumblings like before, but there's something here, you some sense that you get the presence of. You also see what appears to be in the distance some perhaps guarded cavern of some type. It looks like a table in the back, but you need to go past that shadow to kind of get to this table-like structure.
He will quietly, stealthily move toward past this shadow.
Okay. Good. Then if I'm gonna carry your stealth check along here. 1 second. All right, just gonna pull up the character sheet. There we go. All right. Continuing to move through this room, this large open space. You climb the ceiling across it. The shadow kind of blends in. You see that the movement where it was is now gone. The cavern entirely empty.
How big is this shadow?
What you could tell, I mean, it was sort of a mass, maybe 10, 15, 20 feet. I mean, it was tough to tell sitting over in the crevice. It was large.
All right. Moving past the shadow, then what else does he see?
Moving past the shadow, there is a small room that exists in the back of this thing. As you look at it, it looks like a few man-made or made steps that carve up into it. You see what appears to be a form of altar of some type. As well as surrounding, you kind of looking in this area. Surrounding it, you see multiple monuments in the area. You see weapons leaned up against the wall. There seem to be, kind of older cobwebs on it. The center of this altar, you can see what appears to be a dagger sitting on top of it, just resting.
That's all he sees then in this little area?
That's all he sees. The room is otherwise empty.
All right, he's going to try to go back to see towards if he can pick out more about this shadow.
Okay. So as you come back out of it, like I said, multiple little crevices and bigger crevices in this case. There are tunnels that are 10 foot by 10 foot here, kind of carved at different points in the wall. It almost looks like a Swiss cheese type cavern as you're looking at it. The area that the shadow was, you see now that there is about a 10-foot hole behind it, a little tunnel that kind of breaks off immediately to the left. So this area is empty where it was.
Do I get a sense of what the air feels like down here?
Can you feel that with beast sense? Do you have this feeling of perceptions as well?
I guess that would be part of the perception. Let's see,
Let me see real quick how this is worded. You can use your action to see through his eyes and hears what it hears.
Okay, I guess probably not. Beast senses, I don't know. Any special senses?
That's a
That'd be
tough
up
one.
to you.
I'll give you a little bit with the air down here.
Like, is it hot? Is it cold? Is it humid?
It's humid. You still see a little bit of that swamp that's down here for the most part, but nothing too terrible. Hold on 1 second. Let me get you a better feel here for this. It's a good question. Answer. Oh, come on, come on. All right. Generally warm down here. It's not as doesn't have that cool breeze that was coming out of the above. Seems to be you can sense almost the heat uh, coming out of the area. Not really warm or balmy, but warm for a cliff. Normally you would expect that cold underground temperature that you're used to. This seems more comfortable, little bit higher end. Um, that's about it. Nothing else. Nothing else special.
All right, he's going to go back towards the shadow and try to concentrate on what the shadow is, what he sees.
Okay. So he does not seem to see anything as he makes his shadow there. Just,
We're breaking up a bit.
got me now? Can you guys hear me okay?
You're locked up. Nah, wait, maybe.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, now we can.
Okay. Sorry about that. Let me actually. You know what? Let me drop out of the site. I think this has a pretty heavy load. All right. How's that now? Am I lagging at all?
No, you're good.
Okay. So as you make your way over to this area, this nook of the main cavern where you saw this movement before, you find nothing but a shadow. I mean, this is just empty ground, but it's dark vision, tough to tell. You know you saw something here earlier, but like I mentioned, there's this kind of a hole in a tunnel that goes from there about 10 foot wide that makes its way back and around the corner from there after a few feet, so you can't quite tell what's there. You want to kind of go after where in that area? Do you want to follow it through?
He's gonna go into it.
Okay. Coming around the corner, you move into this tunnel, and again, 10 to 12 feet wide, kind of circular. You start to make your way through it. You come around, wrapping around the corner. Go ahead and give me another perception check.
I hate it.
All right. So coming around the corner, you catch almost a little too little, too late. You catch eyes. You catch massive eyes about 10 feet in front of you. This thing blended in with the shadows. You barely saw it as you wrapped it in that corner. The stealth level was immense. You struggled to capture it, and the first thing you catch is the breathing, and you see a few. You almost think you see sparks that momentarily jut out near a little bit south of the eyes. A little bit of minor lightning almost. Maybe some static charge from down below as this thing just catches you, lashes out, and prepares to attack.
At that moment, I break B senses. I'm like, everybody up, get up, everybody up. We gotta get the fuck out of here.
All right, and everyone without the long rest benefit is woken up.
Why am I?
You feel a sense of what's
like,
going on with the with your spider.
What's that?
Do you have any sense at all with your friendly? Have you got a beast sense?
I will go back real quick after I wake everybody up and just go to see what happens.
Sorry, I just mean, do you have any feel? Like, do you have any connection with it at all when you're outside of beast sense?
No.
Okay. However, if I would like to say you have a little bit of it's a friendly. You have a little bit of a sense there. You feel that link break. Gone.
Everybody, we got to get out of here. And you just hear like Adrian like swearing like Ariel's tits. We got to get the frig out of here.
Why is that?
What's going on, Adrian?
I think
that
there's
was a
dragon.
great swear word.
I think there's a dragon below. Well, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here.
Dragging these nuts on your chin.
Dragging these nuts, yes.
You see harshness. Dragon. Do you know what type?
The last thing I saw was electrical energy.
Perhaps blue.
I
think we can take it.
What's that?
There are many of us and few of them. We can take them.
He had a lot of minions, though. I think we need to get out of here. We are not at full health. We need to get out of here.
You see him glaring into the cave. Look of anger.
Harshnag, if we need to rest, we need to recoup before we. I'm all for taking on the dragon. We will die though. We have to heal up for a minute. I agree.
All right.
I'll go up to Harshy Poo. I'll go up to Harshnag. Harshnag, I understand. I understand. We will die if we go in there. At least some of us will.
And his glare continues to stare down that cave, and you see he's tense. He's gripping his axe, white-knuckled.
Not gonna lie.
Slowly.
Harshnag.
Slowly thinks a little bit and looks back to the group.
What if we make this promise to you? You have kept your word that you have followed us in hunting these frost giants. We will keep our word that we will follow you into this cave once we heal.
Yes.
If everybody else is on board.
As he's gripping his axe, I'm gonna tell him to hold out his hands.
He's gonna slowly back down and lighten it. Look at you and lower his hands all the way. He's almost to the ground.
Do you put your nuts in his hand?
Reed.
I'm gonna put 2 platinum pieces in his hand. 1 in each hand. We'll be back.
Would you help me fight this? I shall cripple this for you. He's gonna pocket them.
We got plenty. Well. Yeah, we got.
Are we going back to Port Last then?
We need to get out of here.
We're gonna go with my plan.
Are you gonna
I
burrow?
didn't think the spooky ass cave with a weird draft was a good idea. No.
Plan R. Plan R it is. Plan R.
All right. So you guys have awoken. No long rest in place. Are you guys gonna take the time to cut the head off?
No,
How long is it gonna take?
Chopping through with some help. I would say you can hack through this thing in 20 minutes, half hour tops.
12 will not.
Yeah, well, maybe even 15 if you guys are really hacking with some desperation.
What if I was able to convince Harshnag to use his axe?
In that case, I will give it to you in 5.
I'm gonna hand Harshnag 5 more platinum pieces.
What is this for?
I'm gonna need you to do something that you're probably not okay with.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, because it's me. Would you expect anything less?
I would not any longer. I thought the tales of the Phandalin Five were perhaps a bit exaggerated. I now find that they are understated.
Now we may need some more negotiation pieces when it comes to the rest of the boat.
This is true.
The pieces just happen to be formerly living. I'm gonna need you to cut off the captain's head. I can double that 5 platinum pieces for you, if that's what it takes.
Yeah. He's gonna hold out his hand.
I'm gonna give him 8 more.
8 more. All right.
Adrian comes over with like 10 copper. He's like, Reed, I'm really gonna help out here. Here's 10 copper.
Thanks, buddy. I know it's a lot for you. I know money's not your thing. That's probably more of a percentage than what I've actually given up.
He is gonna take it, pocket it, walk over, and you're just gonna see him take this massive swing and hack at it, and then he just no hesitation at all. He's just swing, 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 boom, all the way through it. And then as it falls off and rolls, chopping it off, you hear the last swing, the spine cracks. He's gonna give the thing a little kick just to move it away from the body. He's gonna turn to you. I would have done that for free. And he's just gonna grab the head by the hair.
Yeah, listen, we've made you get hit by boulders and stuff. Might as well give you something for it.
Warwick,
Much
can
appreciated.
you have another cloud of fog that you can cast?
He's just gonna hang this thing towards the air, pointing to the sky. Do you see, Anab? Do you see what happens? And he's gonna walk away, dragging his head.
Sweet, I don't even gotta fucking carry it.
Well, I was hoping that you would have to, because Griswold got Frank, and assuming we are walking back to Port Last, assuming we're all just skedaddling the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? That's the head's gone. It's taking about 5 minutes.
Port Last.
All seems quiet in the cave right now.
Yeah,
Port
we're
Last
only
it
like
is.
8 miles away, so.
Yeah, say you're probably about 7 miles. You
totally-
thought it was somewhere between maybe 5 to 7 miles, if you had to guess. But again, you didn't know an exact measurement.
Can you cast one more fog cloud on that cave entrance, just for a little bit?
I have one last charge of it from my deterrent, so it's only the small guy. But yeah,
I think that's all we need, just to slow them down if anything comes out.
I'm gonna look at Adrian, hold a bean, and say, "Are you sure a fog cloud's needed?"
I'll cast it.
I mean, if you got something else better,
We might have to do a little digging to get back in, but
Let's just do the fog cloud. We have promised.
Oh, I
And,
threw
and
it away.
that beam might be really good to close the chasm. That could be really fun.
Andrew,
Yeah,
when
I
you
threw.
were- Okay.
So you casting it?
Yeah, just the little one, the 20-foot radius. You know, not the 100-foot radius that Papa Bear can get up to now. Cover
Andrew.
the whole fucking map.
When you were looking through your spider's eyes, did you see any other possible entrances to this cave?
I didn't see anything specifically, but he was good size, and I imagine there was another entrance somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I forget when he was going through. I guess he wouldn't have been able to say the height, but did you see how high the average, like, passageway was in there?
I did, and they weren't that big, right?
Okay, so
Not on the upper side. On the lower side, they were 10 to 15 feet in diameter, these tunnels, in a massive, 100-foot cavern.
but there's
So as
there's gotta be another.
this fog cloud is up, you guys start to see some rocks just fly out of them at high velocity, kicking out through this thing.
Let's hop, skip, and skedaddle, huh?
We're double timing it. So
Yeah, we are triple timing it.
Be last.
Yeah. So let's back to Port
All right.
Last.
You guys gonna beeline it to Port Last then? So you didn't have much time for the rest. It was only about 12:30 or so whenever you did this. So if you guys start taking off now, turns out you're a little closer than you thought. You guys only need to go about six miles or so to get back. So if you guys are double timing it back, you make pretty good time. So is your as a group, you guys have travel about 4 miles an hour? I think that's what it was. I'm blanking on some numbers at the moment. Yeah. Are you guys actually double timing it, or going fast, or are you guys gonna take it normal speed?
Lord. Let's double time.
Yeah, double time.
I don't feel like getting caught.
All right, so
Dragon.
you guys managed to haul back. You're kind of familiar with this way now. You're heading south. You've been this way once already, slightly off of it, and then plus you guys have been traipsing through the woods. Do you guys want to kind of continue through the woods, or do you want to hit the coast and travel directly along it?
Probably hit the coast. Because if we travel through the woods and run across something else, we might be fucked. So I'd say hit the coast and go down. That way we can see what's there.
All right, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So busting out of the woods, the coast is fairly open, not a lot of large trees. You guys are I'll call it exposed, but that also gives you pretty good visibility. You guys it's a pretty solid trail heading back. Don't run across much issue. You're able to get back in just under 2 hours, and hit the beginning of the town. As you guys come across the cliff, you guys are going to come along and actually hit where the ballista was up top before it was destroyed. And then looking down, you see the ship is still in harbor at the moment, and the town seems to be in a phase of rebuilding. You see a line of military men kind of guarding the docks. At this point, they seem to have finally assembled. You have about 10, 12 people there with crossbows armed, kind of just staring at the ship. And the surface of the ship seems to be empty. You do see some black charred marks right around the center. It looks like there was a bit of a fire that got almost out of control. However, does appear to be contained at some point.
I'm just glad that
As
light
we're
breeze
coming
you
into,
mentioned.
go ahead.
What was that, Ryan?
I'm just glad that light breeze that Garrett mentioned was coming out of the cave didn't affect the fog cloud.
Yeah, it was a light breeze. It wasn't the 10 miles per hour needed for it to affect it, so it wasn't strong enough. However, be aware that you do have a pretty strong wind, about 12, 15 miles an hour coming off the ocean right now. Not a big deal since you're not in battle, but be aware.
As we're coming into town, if we see anyone, I'll certainly try to help them understand that Harshnag is with us and they should not attack. I know we mentioned Harshnag to Umrag before, but just in case people forgot, Harshipu is with us.
Now I'm gonna make an assumption. Harshnag's carrying the captain's head. I think it's a safe assumption that they're gonna think that Harshnag is,
Hey,
and he's
I'm
traveling
hoping.
with us.
Look, you never know. They got scared when I was in town with you guys, so I'm just like, let's clear it all up.
I'll take out a few townspeople if needed.
All right, let it happen. Roll for initiative. The town folk turn on you. No, you guys give them fair warning. As you're coming into town, you kind of come across, start crossing the bridges. You see women and children scattering. Town folk, males keep a close eye on Harshnag in particular. He's not getting any friendly glances, that's for sure. They do seem quite tense with him, quite almost spiteful towards him. No one seems happy he's in town, but they do give him his distance, and then you don't see anything direct.
Do we see young Wenmo?
I was about to say, Wenmo comes running up from around the corner, having been through an alley, still carrying his oversized weaponry, and he comes running around the corner. You just see him freeze, about to say hi or something to you guys, and he just holds, drops the shield, drops the sword, slowly
it's okay.
backs up.
It's okay. It's okay. He's and I'll kneel down. This is Harshnag. He's a friend. He is okay.
Right.
Harshnag. Wait, is this was it Gwenmo?
Wenmo.
Harshnag. This is Gwenmo.
Wenmo.
This is Harshnag.
Abu.
And yeah.
Wombo.
Harshnag is going to get down on one knee, come all the way down. His head's the size of this boy alone. Hold out his finger. A pleasure, Wenmo. Oh, all right. And he's going to just grip onto his finger. Nice to meet you, Harshnag. I wasn't aware. You were part of the Phandalin Phive now?
Honorary member.
Yeah, that's his decision.
We have to get matching tattoos for that. We haven't. That'll come along later.
Wait, you guys got tattoos?
Is Kayla gonna play too?
So I'm trying to convince her. They want you to play, Kayla. You want in? You can play Wenmo.
Oh my god.
You want to play the dragon that's about to kill them? No? Alright. No, we lost her.
I can marry underground. Electricity would be grounded.
Oh. And so at that point, Wenma's going to go over, pick up his shield, and pick up his sword, and just kind of slowly back up, let you guys through. He's going to follow from a distance as you guys head through town. He's basically your little shadow about 30 feet back.
Do we run across Umrog?
You don't initially see Umrog as you kind of put around. If you ask for him, seems like he's taking a temporary hiatus. He is finally getting some rest while the town is rebuilding, while they have guards on the boat. So he's getting a little bit much needed rest. They're due to wake him up in a few hours.
Did they leave anyone else in charge? Who did he leave as his first in command?
So they're going to point you to. Let's see. Next in line would be. The next in line would be Stroth. So they're going to point you to Stroth Monstersky.
Is that monster with C at the end?
So it is Stroth is the first name.
Hold on. STR.
And yes, it is Monster Sky.
Monster Sky.
Sloth?
Monstersky.
Okay. Cool beans. All right. That's awesome.
And as you approach him, he seems to be human-like, although you can also see the features, likely some maybe quarter orc in his heritage. So a little bit of a odd combination here, but
interesting.
Fairly brute of a man, unkept, hair down to his shoulders, unbraided, a fairly unruly beard that comes down, not quite as impressive as Amrook's, but still coming down to the chest. Big old nose. These you can see the beginnings of a small tusk kind of kicking out. There's this partial chest like a barrel. Arms that just are massive. Looks like he was a blacksmith at some time. And he seems to be directing a few men. You hear him. Despite his size, seems to be deeper voice, but very friendly and passive in demeanor as he's talking, asking about some reports. You hear him asking about the condition of the town, how the rebuild's going, how many people are still out of home and need to be put up for the night. Conditions of the ship, whether there's been any sign of movement, and then you hear him talking about the scouts that have been out and about in the woods, and no sign of any of the frost giants approaching. However, they have found some bodies. So this conversation continues. He doesn't seem to quite notice you yet. Very preoccupied with those around him.
Stroth. Who's one?
Yes, just one moment. Oh, yes, welcome back. One moment, please. He's gonna send off. Keep it on the ship. Send the next scout team out to the north, and we'll go from there. We'll send the next batch to the east. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Gentlemen.
Tell him not to go into a cave, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Stroth. Up
To the north?
Up.
No.
Yes.
All right. And then the gentleman kind of turns real quick. It's a young guy. He is keeping a weary eye on Harshnag, but watching you guys. He was just getting ready to tear off and run. Stops momentarily when he hears you say that. No caves? No caves at all?
Yeah,
Stroth,
I would avoid those. And then I'm going to look at Harshnag and tell him to hold up the head.
All right.
Stroth, up north, we ran across some issues. Actually, all around this town we've run across issues, but as you've probably found right now, many bodies of frost giants. Probably 20 or so.
So my reports have told me.
Yes. So thanks.
You're doing, I assume.
I'll look back at the group and Harshnag. To protect the town in these lands, yes, are doing. Up north, we believe we found. We know we found a cave of kobolds. What do you know of dragons? Any rumors of dragons around here? Or dragon-like creatures?
Passed by on occasion. We have, like any town in the area, our fair share. There are some that come off the off the water. We've seen there seems to be a large green dragon bedding inside somewhere, many miles off. We're occasionally in his hunting ground. There have been a few blue dragons that have made their way through, but usually do not stop. But none within the nearness of the city that I would be concerned about.
Any with electricity as their
Electricity.
Is that a blue?
There are rumors of a demon in the outskirts of the woods. The last thing anyone sees is a nasty electrical storm. But those are just stories that have gone back since my father and my father's father. I assumed it was just to keep us in
So he's old.
at night.
yeah.
We might
so,
have-
that cave we told your boys not to go into. We might have found it.
Yes. Oh, good lord. Of all the things we need in addition to giants on the coast, you're telling me dragons to the north.
Well, the giants may have poked the bee's nest, sort of.
Oh god. Gentlemen, I'll be honest with you. We don't have the men. We're short here. We were afraid of the next giant attack. We just don't have the people anymore.
Don't
Do
worry,
you
I'm
know
short
of
too.
do you know of this dragon's name, or if it has a name?
They don't, they? The rumors have been spoken for many years of this. They speak of this electrical storm. It's been called many things, though. I've heard it rumored to be a blue dragon. I've heard rumored to be a great snake. I've heard it rumored to be a wingless monstrosity. But few have ever spoken of it, have been able to tell the tale. I don't know.
Can I, off chance, can I make an Arcana check?
You can.
Even though my Arcana sucks.
Go for it.
Know maybe what he is describing. Yeah, not.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of you're trying to pin this to a couple of different things here. You're not quite sure exactly what it would be based on the description. You initially thought maybe blue dragon, then you're thinking maybe some type of massive snake. Yeah, you're not quite familiar. You're pin it down.
Nice.
Well,
Is that an Eric Nice?
Yeah, it is an Eric Nice. Going back to my last images in the spider mode, do I have any lasting impressions of this creature? Do I see a wingspan? Or do I see
you did not see a wingspan at all. The only thing you saw as this came through was as you're thinking about it now, the last thing you saw the beady eyes. Let me get you a little bit better here of what you may have seen before. What's that?
It's a dragon. That's all. It's a dragon.
The last thing you saw was this long, narrow head, maybe crocodile in shape.
Crocodile-like?
You would know that. Yeah. You saw some curved, like ultramarine horns. You can see them reflecting kind of as you looked in. You saw some multiple sharp colored teeth, and that is about it. And
out of character, these things are so cool.
Yeah, I thought you would like these.
Are you? Oh, so we're confirming it's. Okay, never mind.
What?
It's a dragon.
I'm not confirming anything besides these.
I thought it was a dragon.
Eric's saying it's a dragon.
It had
no,
very
Adrian
much
is saying
dragon-like.
Adrian is saying it's a dragon.
Adrian's saying it's a dragon. Eric
It's a
is not
dragon.
confirming. Eric is not confirming it's a dragon. Yeah. Got it. So
Yeah.
it's something else. Oh shit.
I do not know where the name may have originated. I do not know where it came from, but they call this thing Belisar. And mothers tell their children stories of this at night to terrify them to not go in the woods alone. Again, it's It's an old tale, to keep the children in order. If you do not behave, the Bellathar will come for you.
Maybe we can narrow that woods down to the north.
I think we found it, Pops.
Yeah, so instead of just all of the woods, we should maybe limit it to mostly the north.
Avoid the north. I shall take that under advisement. However, based on current conditions, I don't believe anyone will be leaving town anytime soon.
What was that name again? Bella?
Bellathar, Belithar. That's what they called it.
Is there meaning behind that name? Or is it just something you guys have passed down?
I don't know. That's a great question. It's been passed down. We've always called the beast Bellathar. I don't know where that term was coined. I've known it since I was a child. And, I grew up right around the corner. I was told the same tale. Some even think they see aquamarine scales moving through the woods at times. Some see what they believe to be moving off the coast. There are tales of ships seeing great beasts climbing the walls, the cliffs of the ocean. And yet we just assume that it is men in a hurry to return, having been a little while since they've had good conversation.
But I've never seen it fly.
They have not seen a fly that we're aware of. However, when beasts fly over, we tend to get into our houses very quickly. You know what it's like. We are in no position here in this town to take on any dragons. We try to be as passive as possible, so we have not seen this thing fly. No.
Gee, could I do a history check on Bellathar?
Sure can.
Granted, my history's not great, but yeah, saw that coming.
Yeah, the name doesn't quite mean much to you. You feel like you can recall hearing this nursery rhyme at one point or another. This tale that's been spread, used for a little bit of fear tactic. You know that tends to be up your alley, but that's about all you know. I'm sorry, I can't tell you gentlemen more. This is much concerning.
Well, the boat's probably more concerning at this point.
Yeah, I think that's problem B right now. That's actually problem C. Problem A is we need a rest. Yeah. Problem
Gentlemen,
B is the boat.
We lack much in this town, particularly places of rest, but what we have is available to you. We can provide food with my men. Just feel free to track down these soldiers down below. We have a mess tent set up at any given time. You are more than welcome to it. There are some cots in the back. Feel free to help yourselves.
As he's saying that, can I start to slowly dig in the ground and look around at everyone?
Yes. And he freezes mid-sentence as you just disappear, just dropping slowly out of sight. I assume the last thing he sees is you popping up to check things out real quick.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the Chamb3r Diglett game in Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey guys, can we take a 5-minute bio break real quick?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's do that. It's 11:13 now. Let's pick up at 11:20.
We want to say we initiate our short rest
Yeah,
or long rest.
Let's do that. You guys
same
managed to grab some cots, grab some food, and initiate a long rest. Let me move you over to the homepage so you can use it.
I think everybody's already actually used it prior to.
No, I haven't. I haven't yet.
Okay. There you go. Just in case you guys need to do anything with the characters, we'll pick up from there.
Perfect.
All right.
No. Spaghetti. The mac and cheese is all gone. That's amazing. Are we going to the boat, or are we just sending them a message? Maybe getting a catapult to launch the head? Torture of a dead body? How'd that work out last time? So we don't think launching the head with a message can get the same job done without putting us in harm's way. We do have a bard with levitate. Or water breathing with invisibility. Either way. Minus putting the entire party in danger since last time. You almost died. Grizz almost died. Keegan and I were fine. But whatever you guys want to do. I like that better. I like that one better. Intimidate. I got you. I mean, for the right price, I'll delete the recording. It's true. All right, if you had said that, why don't you start with that? Let's go. Do we check that where they took out the ballista for the boulder? Is it movie theater butter? All right. Yeah. All right. I dig it.
Anything else, Reed? Anything you're thinking? Just hold it to you. All right. So as you guys get closer, you guys move forward. Another round of attacks. Frostbound to the north. Another rock disadvantage. 13 does not hit. Just misses you wildly. Second one coming in. This one's going to be aimed for the robot itself, not you guys. That would be a 20 to hit. Unnatural 20. That will hit. And you see this nice chunk taken out of the front of the hall. Not really taking on water yet, but it's a big old chunk from your side, on the front bow, taken out with 19 points of damage. The ballista is gonna fire towards your general direction. You're not quite sure who, and with a 10 slides over top of the bow, missing each of you guys. And at the same time, coming up from down below, the fourth and final frost giant. A little bit of movement left. He's going to get to there. Taking a shot at disadvantage. That's going to be a 21 to hit disadvantage. For Reed, sorry. 30 points of bludgeoning damage. All right. Moving forward. 3 leads in a row to home. Yeah.
Random question.
All right.
Why didn't we, even though we were both in the water and it's friendly, why didn't we not steer the boat so we could swim back?
Why did the other 6 people do anything?